Hydrogen is the lightest element in the periodic table, and at the standard condition is a colorless, odorless, tasteless, non-toxic gas. But what it makes it very precious as a source of energy is that it is highly combustible and can be used as a fuel, and when burned doesn't produce carbon emissions. Though hydrogen is the most abundant chemical substance in the universe, most of it is in molecular form, such as water and organic compounds, such as hydrocarbons. But besides existing as a compound, vast amounts of hydrogen also exist as free natural or geologic hydrogen in the Earth's crust. And up until recently, it was vastly ignored. However, this is changing rapidly. In recent months, not even years, but months only, there has been an unprecedented interest in geologic or natural hydrogen. This interest is fueled by discoveries in what I could call milestones that are making scientists, investors, and small and medium-sized companies, and even in the sidelines, also big companies, to consider geologic hydrogen as a subsurface energy source with immense potential. One of these companies is Anglo-Spanish Helios Aragon. Helios Aragon is planning on drilling a well in the Spanish Pyrenees later this year, looking for a geologic hydrogen. And why there? Well, we will learn that in this podcast episode. And not only that, but we'll also learn about what could become a geologic hydrogen production project and hub of regional significance. For this, I have a senior executive from Helios Aragon in this podcast episode. Her name is Carmen Font. Carmen holds an MBA from the Solvay Brussels School of Economics and Management. And for over 20 plus years, Carmen has gained extensive knowledge of investments and European Union policies in the energy sector. She is part of the leading team defining the roadmap for the implementation of hydrogen valleys in Europe. She is also a former corporate banker, and she has also worked as a senior advisor at the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office and as director of investments at the government of Aragon in Spain. Carmen is also part of the team of experts in natural hydrogen of the International Energy Agency. Currently, in addition to her senior position with Helios Aragon, where she is EVP Corporate and Strategy, she is managing director of her own investment firm. And now, without further introduction, let's welcome Carmen Font. Carmen, it is a pleasure to have you here in this podcast episode.
Thank you so much, Jose Luis. It's a pleasure for me to join you, and thank you very much for the invitations, for the invitation received from the Helios team. We are thrilled to be here with you today.
Thank you. Well, I'm very excited to have you here. Geologic or natural hydrogen is an emerging thing, right? Most people even ignore it, right? And even in the scientific community, up until recently, it was not really well understood, and it was believed that it could not accumulate under the surface. It was just leaking, right? And we're proving, and only in recent months, in different parts of the world, that there are actually large accumulations of natural hydrogen underground. And what your company is doing and what is coming soon, and we will learn about that, is very exciting. And before going deep into these questions about Helios Aragon and the project and what is very possibly coming next for the industry of geologic hydrogen in Spain and in Europe, I would like to learn about you. And I would like to know, how did you get connected to geologic hydrogen and with Helios Aragon? And what is your role within the company?
Yeah, thank you so much. So indeed, it's really what we are right now leading and what is happening. To me, it was a natural move, a professional move, as I was always involved, or a lot of years involved within the energy sector. So when I was part of the XCO and part of working for the British government, I was in charge of the energy sector, dealing with a lot of projects in terms of supporting Spanish companies investing in the energy sector into the UK and vice versa, helping British companies to invest in Spain and developing energy projects. So, and then when I was part of the director team in the government of Aragon, I was director of foreign investment at the government of Aragon. I was particularly dealing with the energy projects, and that's why I get to learn about Helios. So to me at that time, it was thrilled because to be honest, I haven't heard about natural hydrogen before, but it was a moment where I was thinking to basically to submit my resignation and start my own investment firm. And it was a natural move. Basically, we just decided to continue working together. And obviously, there was a lot to do at that time in terms of legislation in Spain and in terms of the development of the project itself in Spain. And to be honest, I think we've accomplished a lot of things until this day today. And the best is still to come. We are definitely thinking that, a lot of things have to happen yet. But indeed, a lot of achievements have happened until today, and therefore we are confident that we will even speed up the project in the coming years.
Yes, and we will learn about the project very soon. And now, when I was researching about Helios Aragon and about you particularly, as I was about to make this interview, I learned that only a couple of months ago, you spoke at the first natural hydrogen summit in the world in Perth, Australia. What were the takeaways of this very important summit, which is also a milestone, because it's the first one of many more to come? And what can you tell us about this very important event and your experience there and the main takeaways?
Yeah, very good question indeed. I think these sort of summits are absolutely needed. It was a great place and platform to meet the experts from any multidisciplinary angle of the natural hydrogen, from scientific and very knowledgeable people with an amazing background in geology to, more entrepreneur, industry-driven profiles such as mine or other professionals that were there. The CEO of Helios Aragon was also there, Ian Munro, and also Mike Haitian, who is the co-founder. So I think it's a great opportunity to really mix up the scientists with the industry and see what's next. And I think it was also a very good opportunity to include in the program this time the legislation and regulatory framework, because this is absolutely needed. I mean, there has been a lot done in terms of research. There's still a lot to do, but quite a lot in terms of a more scientific perspective within the field. But there is not much done yet in terms of legislation, and this is absolutely needed. So it was a great opportunity to see best practices. So we learned from Australia, from what they have basically tackled the legislation in different states with different approaches, basically. So some of them, including some of the states, have included natural hydrogen and helium within the mining code. Some others have included it within the Hydrocarbon Act. And in Europe, so far, it's France since March 21 when they decided to basically include the natural hydrogen into their mining code. And in Poland recently, it was last October, at the end of October 23, when they have included natural hydrogen in their hydrocarbons law. In Spain, we are at the blink of, in a blink of an eye of getting this, hopefully very soon, included too. And it was a great experience, as I said, in terms of, new advances in terms of research, learning from the industry and projects such as ours that are more advanced in Europe, or the first truly European project that hopefully will be producing natural hydrogen by 29. And also, as I said, the more legislation framework that is absolutely needed. So it was a great opportunity for that. So definitely looking forward to the next one.
Great. I mean, it's not just about science and understanding geologic hydrogen from the scientific perspective and knowing that it is there and that we can exploit it. It's not just the technical aspect, but without the regulatory framework, and that is your strength there, and the policies and the investments, this could not happen. So it's great that bright minds are getting together in summits like this, and that there is an advancement of this emerging industry. And also, I guess one takeaway that we can get from there is that Australia is one step ahead of of the rest, but Europe is not far behind, and it is great. And I'm sure North America and the rest of the world will also follow this path. Excellent, excellent. Now, tell us about the project in northern Spain. Tell us about the project that Helios Aragon is invested on, and if you could give us some information. I understand this is considered a project of regional significance by the government of Aragon. So yeah, I'm sure not only me, but lots of people want to hear this. I mean, this is a big thing.
Yes, indeed. So we are thrilled, to be honest. We are Europe's first natural hydrogen project, the more advanced so far. We are thrilled because it was declared by the government of Aragon last May 23 as a project of regional significance or investment of regional relevance, which means that therefore all the government will be working for this project. They really consider it as a very high value project in terms of the impact that will have to the region, in terms of obviously the industry itself, and in terms also of the more economic perspective, which means that we will obviously generate 300 direct employees and also 1,500 in direct employment. I mean, which is quite relevant itself. And also because of the type of the profiles, because these are new professionals that will be basically, generating and starting a sort of industry that haven't been seen before. And also because of the relevance of the project itself. We are bringing a new ecosystem to the region and further investments. Don't forget that it's not just Helios, we have other partners alongside us, and those companies will also invest in the area, and we will be generating, as I said, a totally new ecosystem that hasn't been seen before, and definitely contributing not just to the region but to Spain in general, and obviously to the sector. No? We are bringing the most competitive hydrogen to the market because of the cost is 0.75 cents of a euro, the cost of production of natural hydrogen, and obviously the most sustainable one. This is very important. So we are there, we plan to produce and aiming to just complement green hydrogen. Don't forget that I think also it's important to highlight that natural hydrogen is not there to compete, it's there to complement, to bring more resources for the industry and for the society. And this is quite an important message, I think, that we need to bring. Also, the fact that at the moment, as we know, like projects in general within the green hydrogen sector are falling behind the schedule. Mm-hmm. So the possibility of bringing new projects such as Helios and producing natural hydrogen will definitely bring the new resource and very competitive resource to the market, which is absolutely needed, as I said. And coming back to the project, I think, well, we are thrilled because the phases expected are that we will be drilling the appraisal well this September 24, from September till the end of the year. And we are about to, in the very last phase of closing substantial partnerships with very key companies in this, I mean, obviously from the sector that bring a lot of expertise and are very relevant, and that definitely is quite important for the project. So as I said, we are right now in an important phase where we are about to close important partnerships and also jumping into the appraisal well that will be in September 24 when we will be drilling.
Wow, so many good news coming from this. I mean, number one, it's great that the government of Aragon and Spain is aligned with the project, right? I'm sure there were roadblocks for getting there, right? Because it consists on drilling. There is an environmental aspect with it, and even maybe some association to drilling for oil and gas. And to get there, I'm sure there were obstacles. and but you manage, I mean, the people of Helios Aragon, people behind this interesting project of national relevance, was able to transmit to the general public and to the government all the potential benefits of a project like this. So congratulations for that, for having reached this milestone. And I understand now there is a legislation in place, which is incredible, and that you are ready to start an actual drilling for a well.
Yeah, we are about to. So to be honest, I take the opportunity to thank very much the support that we received from the government of Aragon. So the actual government, the former government, was very supportive with obviously the declaration of the project of regional significance. The current government has been also outstanding in terms of supporting our project. So thank you very much for that to the government, because obviously the administration is key. And also at national level, I think we've done a lot of work, and we've been quite on feeding them with key facts and working with them very closely to reach where we are today with the Ministry of for Ecological Transition in Spain. So thank you very much. Particularly the Department of Mines have been amazing, and a lot of work that we've done basically. And as I said, we are in the blink of an eye now, very close. The latest feedback we got is like it's in the hands of the minister now, the approval. So we are expecting well, very soon the announcement, and that the natural hydrogen and helium will be under Section D in Spain of the mining code. So there was a consultation last December gathering information, because the Spanish mining code is going to be amended. But prior to that, as I said, we are expecting an imminent announcement from the central government with the good news. And that certainly will be a milestone for not just this project, many projects that surely will be developed in Spain, with many opportunities for the industry and obviously for the scientific world to come over and well, have all the frame in terms of obviously not just the scientific perspective, but also the industry there to support them to do all the job that has to be done in terms of research too. So it's a fascinating time, and yeah. So I agree with you. It's now moving quite fast, and we are expecting, as I said, new announcements to be made probably before summertime. And yeah, thrilled to continue the conversation, basically.
Yeah, this is great. This is a great start for the project. And now, the well that it is going to be drilled, right, is the Monzon 2 appraisal well. And people might be wondering, why appraisal? Isn't this an exploration well? Well, not exactly. There was a well drilled in the 1960s, right, which was the actual discovery, but nobody paid attention to it. I mean, it was just an oddity to find hydrogen. Uh, could you tell us a bit about this well that was drilled in the 60s, which, if it wasn't because of that, I mean, we wouldn't be talking today. Probably nobody will have pay attention to the possibility of having hydrogen underground. So if you have some information that you can share about how it all started, and because it is all linked, right, to the discovery back then. So I would like to hear from you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Jose Luis, you're totally right. Indeed, it was in 1963 precisely when Pasa drilled. It was the national gas company that drilled the well looking for gas, and they found 100% readings of hydrogen. That was very unusual, because they have also a device that was able to measure this hydrogen. And there was at that time not at all interest in natural hydrogen, so they just decided to close the well, and nothing was done in terms of obviously further exploration or whatsoever. So it was abandoned, and it was all that data that was at that time recorded by the company, and also like further data that was gathered by one of the co-founders, Chris Atkinson, basically during the 80s. He did his PhD in the area and also was involved in several research processes during years and decades in the area. All this data was recorded, and it was very useful for us in order to be now where we are, basically Europe's first natural Aragon project, with the confidence that the volumes that we read with all the tests, geochemical tests, to the seismic satellite, and all what we've done during those decades until now, they will be confirmed during the appraisal well that we will drill in September. And we expect very high levels of hydrogen. In fact, the volumes that we've confirmed has been 1.1 million tons of hydrogen in one of the reserves in Monson 1, basically. And we are expecting to be very close to the original well, where it was that time Empasa found the hydrogen. And it's just one of the reserves, as I said, because there are six more structures there in the area, in Monson and Barbastro. So the prospects are very promising, to be honest. And if things work as expected, Monton won't be just one structure. We hope to develop probably more structures in the area and basically move forward. Don't forget also, José Luis, that we are not just we don't have just this project. So the vision is really to, with all the experience acquired during the years until now, to continue developing other sites in Europe. In fact, we set up a branch in Poland recently, and we are working already in Poland to develop other projects there, and our next steps include also Hungary, Germany, and even outside Europe with countries such as Philippines and so forth. So we are really building a sort of pipeline of projects right now. And moving forward with very key partners to basically accomplish all what we have in mind.
Wow, that's very exciting, and that's aggressive in a nice way, right? Going beyond the Spanish Pyrenees. I'm sure also the French will replicate in the other side of the Pyrenees. Plus, they already had only a few months ago a huge discovery in this gold mine, and but yeah, this is just the beginning of an emerging industry, and it is the plans of Helios Aragon is colossal. Is very impressive.
Yeah, what makes us like what makes Monton different? I would say it's like it's sealed. We are very lucky to have a thick layer of salt, basically sealing all the structure, and therefore it doesn't escape. Hydrogen is there trapped basically nicely. And versus like on the other side of the French Pyrenees, we have also there are a lot of readings in terms of very high levels of hydrogen too, but it's escaping at the moment. So what makes this particular area in the Pyrenees very attractive for production, for being able to commercialize truly, is that is trapped there. So it's amazing too, José Luis, because it's not just production. If you think about it, we are bringing on the table the storage too. Think about it, because it's like once the structure would be reaching the end, because we expect production to be occurring for 20 years, with a volume, an average volume of 55,000 tons of production per year. I mean, as from year 15 onwards, we could think about preparing this reserve for storage, to be honest. So we could be able to inject green hydrogen and storage green hydrogen in a proven storage place. So it's really brings this sort of two hats business possibility and obviously scientific possibility to not just think about production but also about the storage. So this is also very attractive, I think.
Yeah, that is key. If you want to have huge accumulations of a gas,
exactly.
that happens with the hydrocarbons, right? With oil and gas, you need a structure that has a proper cap, right? It stays trapped there.
Exactly, and it's very competitive because it's, as you know, it's very expensive to storage nowadays, and So it's just there. So you just need to inject, and then obviously it's very attractive. It's very attractive for the factor of safety. It's a proven place that has stored already hydrogen, so this is really valuable too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it is certainly unique. It meets all the requirements, but I wouldn't say I would like to use. I don't like to use the word unique actually because I'm sure it is replicated in many other parts of the world, and we know that now. I mean, with all the recent discoveries and many more to come, because only now the scientific community is paying attention, and they will be looking for it. We now not have these startup, these middle-sized companies looking for it, but there will soon be the day where big oil companies also will go for it with much more ability to invest and using all their tools, right,
Yes, indeed.
for
And also,
research.
and also I think it's important to mention also the European Commission. We are now involved. That's why I think in terms of the International Energy Agency and the committee that has been formed, particularly for natural hydrogen, that I'm honored to be part of. I think it's great because we have a mix of different profiles. They are obviously very high knowledgeable people in terms of geologists and very scientific, great profiles. But I mean, profiles that bring more the industry side and also the possibility of reaching public funding, having public funding devoted to natural hydrogen with specific European calls devoted for natural hydrogen and European level, as I said, but also like a national level and regional level. So there is a lot of work to do, but I think we need to really see it as a great opportunity for the industry. And we are doing a lot of work, as I said, with the European Commission and obviously with the national government to also have the right tools in place for the industry to speed up the process of the investments and to basically develop projects, because projects are quite expensive. I mean, if you think about it, we are talking about our project, just the one structure, the Monzon one is 800 million investment. Okay. So it would be great to have a European funding devoted to that. So we are going to present, in fact, a project with a consortium of partners very soon, in a few weeks, to a European call, and hoping to be awarded, because that would mean really a milestone also for the project to have this recognition from the European Union. And also to continue working very closely with the European Union and the European Parliament towards the legislation and having a regulatory framework in place in Europe, basically for the different countries, obviously not just in France and Poland and very soon hopefully in Spain, but all over Europe, the European Union. And also in terms of funding, as I said, I think we need definitely specific programs for research and specific programs obviously for the industry and for the investments that have to be made.
Great. So, Carmen, you mentioned a moment ago that there is the plan beyond Spain. You mentioned Poland, Hungary, and some other countries, and even outside Europe. So, how is this going to work? Is this only Helios Aragon behind this, or it is a consortium of companies? And why those specific countries, for example, Poland and Hungary, and the ones that you mentioned? Is there anything that makes them believe there is already? Is there something that they have found related to geologic hydrogen? Yeah, I'm very interested about learning about this. What is coming after the Spanish Pyrenees, the Monzon project, beyond Spain?
Very good question, Solis. Yes, indeed. I mean, we plan to continue moving forward with selected partners, basically, that we are doing right now, closing those basically negotiations at very late stage, as I said, and hoping to announce those very soon. So we plan to move forward with selected partners, and with those have a lot of expertise also in the energy sector, obviously. And we do have a pipeline of projects, basically. Monzon 1 is just the first one. And we've selected countries such as Poland, because obviously we have found prospects there or reservoirs there that indicate, like a very good possibilities of success, and also because of the legislation. We do have legislation in Poland now that will make viable what we are planning in terms of the development of the project and the obviously having production at commercial level after Aragon. But also Hungary and even Germany, because there are also there are funds there that there is a natural hydrogen in substantial volumes to think that they might be very good prospects of being commercially viable. And that's the plan. So basically, we are not just, I would say, we are not just developing a local project. We are developing a pipeline of projects and learning from this first one. Basically, we are going to use proven technology. So there is nothing to be invented or bring over, because it's geothermal technology that has been used in the oil and gas sector for many years. So this is very important also the message that the technology is there. So we are going to implement this technology and upgrade with obviously like electrifying all the production system and so bringing all the security and expertise from decades in the sector to this first project, learning from it and replicating it in other sites such as Poland and further Hungary and so forth. So we are basically aiming, we have the vision of scaling up. That's absolutely the vision. And also that's what we are also bringing to the European Union in terms of message, that we don't have to see these sort of projects as a unique project. We need to basically achieve from the European Union also funding that will be following all the way through the development of the project. So we, as I said, we are aiming to replicate this business model in other sites and have a pipeline of projects, basically.
Great. Yeah, you mentioned about technologies. Well, myself, I'm a well geologist, and I worked in oil and gas, drilling for oil and gas, right? And in reality, drilling for natural hydrogen is no different. I mean, the technology is there. Drilling.
Yeah, exactly.
Hundreds of thousands of meters underground. So the technology is there, which is great. And there is also, because this is an emerging industry, the possibility of transfer of skills. It's not just the technology is there, but the people is there. I mean, there is people with tremendous knowledge and expertise that can use those skills and knowledge for drilling for geologic hydrogen. And that is great.
You're absolutely right. And indeed, there is the European Union vision on this is also like the Green Deal. It fits very well with the Green Deal sort of a skills program that the European Union is like promoting or really aiming for, because it's precisely what you're saying. There is a lot of knowledge within the oil and gas sector that could be transferred to the natural hydrogen naturally, so it's perfect, because we've heard from the industry, we've heard from big players within the oil and gas saying we have a lot of pressure to look for something else. We have a lot of pressure to leave traditional projects in the oil sector and move to something else. That this could be perfect. This could be perfect if natural hydrogen continues developing, and we really see the industry being able to be involved and making hydrogen a reality in terms of production. That will be a milestone for the globally, because we will see companies from the oil and gas moving and shifting part of the pipeline of projects into natural hydrogen and bringing professionals with all the skills acquired for decades into something new, but that it's absolutely
green.
Well, you need those skills. You need those skills to make it happen. So it's really an opportunity in terms of obviously the industry, but in terms of obviously new professions, new professions that will come with the experience of the traditional oil and gas sector or background professionals, and will move into natural hydrogen and helium. So it's as I said, it's a great opportunity for the new generations to come, basically, and also for the current professionals nowadays. So absolutely.
Yes, and for oil companies, it's just it's a natural fit. I mean, the upstream portion of oil and gas has a lot in common with looking for this resource, natural hydrogen. I mean, all the same expertise for exploration and prospection can be used. All the tools, the people, and I think, and this is very important for the energy transition, which is something that we are aiming for, right? To reduce our carbon emissions. And natural hydrogen, as I said at the beginning of this interview, when burnt, doesn't emit any carbon, and it is great.
What could be more sustainable and what could be more competitive, no, in terms of cost than producing natural hydrogen, to be honest. So it really complements green hydrogen and what we are aiming for globally, you know, in terms of decarbonization and achieving the very ambitious goals. Because don't forget that European Union states, I mean, we do have very ambitious goals in terms of decarbonization and reaching certain levels of hydrogen production, green hydrogen at the moment. So really natural hydrogen could really accelerate all this decarbonization and meeting really the targets established. So absolutely, you're right.
Even though there is a market for hydrogen, but I'm sure with this, the industry that use hydrogen will only expand. I mean, if we find not only in the monsoon well, but in all this stream of this pipeline of projects that are coming from the ones that Helios Aragon will participate, but from so many others that will start to come. I think there is great possibility that the hydrogen industry will substantially grow, and that natural hydrogen will be a big and important component of that. Even though you mentioned it, it complements other industries. Well, it complements other types of hydrogen, green hydrogen too, right? But there are some advantages of this kind of hydrogen. When we talk about green hydrogen, we talk about something that is quite expensive, and that the energy that it is used often is more than the energy that it is obtained from the actual hydrogen. So there are advantages of natural hydrogen versus green hydrogen, and the other types of hydrogen that typically also have carbon emissions. And also, I think geologic hydrogen really has a place in the energy transition, complementing other types of energy, or other types of intermittent sources of energy like solar and wind, and which we have to highlight. Natural hydrogen doesn't have that, could be used as a base load 24/7, and of course complements oil and gas, which still we still use it, and we are in the process of transitioning, but we need it for now and probably for decades. Well, I think we're
coming back to the ambitious targets. I mean,
yes.
Just during the European Bank announcements, Europe is targeting, European Union is targeting to produce locally, to produce in-house basically 10 million tons of hydrogen by 2030, and to import 10 million tons of hydrogen by 2030. So there's very ambitious, as I said, figures, and definitely the natural hydrogen sector, if it takes off, and we do have the industry involved and projects start being able to prove that commercialization is there and it's happening, then we could definitely complement the natural, basically natural hydrogen could really complement with green hydrogen. And that's, I think, this is the objective, to bring everything that we have on the table for the off-takers, for the industry, to really decarbonize at a very competitive price, to the mobility to take off, because society needs to think about the new generation of cars, hydrogen cars. So at the time being, we need to produce a competitive hydrogen, and that would be really feasible with natural hydrogen.
Absolutely. Wow, it was a very interesting conversation. I don't know if you still would like to finalize with a message, and happy to hear Your final words.
Well, final words is like, well, we are thrilled from Helios to be leading the natural hydrogen sector in Europe right now, and obviously delighted to be working jointly with the industry and with the scientific community, and also with the administration, because we don't have to forget that we need to involve the administration and the regulators and decision makers in terms of strategy to accelerate really the process of having natural hydrogen at in a commercial phase worldwide. So I think that's the message, no? That we need to continue working hard and bringing together any expert in any field to make it happen. No?
Great. Congratulations to you as a professional with such a great vision. And congratulations to Helios Aragon for these bold moves, advancing natural hydrogen. And I think we are ending this very interesting session. Thank you to the audience for listening. And if you like this video, like and subscribe. Thank you.